I'm looking at two pictures which can be found in the print and e-book versions of this book. One is a color reproduction of Ingres' great 1832 portrait of Louis-François Bertin, a powerfully bulky man in his 60s, dressed in black, who sits with both hands assertively planted on his thighs as he engages the viewer with a look of determination touched with irony. The other is a black-and-white snapshot taken sometime in the 1930s by an anonymous photographer of a 2- or 3-year-old girl sitting on a stone step, dressed in a polka-dot sunsuit and matching sun hat. The eyes squinting against the sun, the mouth set in a near smile, who has assumed Bertin's pose, as if she'd seen the portrait and was mimicking it. Of course, what she has done, and what Bertin himself did, was to unconsciously draw on the repertoire of stereotypical poses with which nature has endowed all creatures, and which we tend to notice less in our own species than we do in, say, cats and squirrels and marmosets. Ingres had a lot of trouble with his portrait of Bertin. He would start and then discard one version after another. According to a biographer, Walter Pach, Ingres broke down in tears during a sitting, and Bertin comforted him by saying, "My dear Ingres, don't bother about me, and above all, don't torment yourself like that. You want to start my portrait over again? Take your own time for it. You'll never tire me, and just as long as you want me to come, I'm at your orders." Finally, Ingres saw Bertin outside the studio, at a dinner in one account, and at an outdoor cafe in another, sitting in the pose, and knew he had his portrait. The child in the snapshot is me. I know nothing about where or when the picture was taken. The sunsuit speaks of summer vacation, and I'm guessing at my age. I say my age, but I don't think of the child as me. No feeling of identification stirs as I look at her round face and thin arms and her incongruously assertive pose. If I were writing an autobiography, it would have to begin after the time of that photograph. My first memory dates from several years later. I'm in the country on a fine day in early summer, and there's a village festival. Little girls in white dresses are walking in a procession, strewing white rose petals from small baskets they carry. I want to join the procession, but have no basket of petals. A kind aunt comes to my aid. She hastily plucks white petals from a bush in her garden and hands me a basket filled with them.